Ah, yes, another fresh abomination. One diaper sandwich. Hello. What's up, little fella? We gonna catch you. There it is. Shiny acquired, and Shiny Swablu and Altaria look awesome, so need Shiny to have. Now that we have our Shiny, save again, and we can just farm the rest of this outbreak for Swablu Fluff. We're getting 60 of them. It only took one picnic reset of the flock. Yeah, that was... What's up, Osmoney? Yeah, that match was very frustrating. And, like, things were going decently well, too, and then all of a sudden, I think I had 6 defense and they had 3 attack or something, and they took my city for no reason, really. Just because the game decided they didn't want me to have a chance. Yeah, I think I did 3 or 4 matches as the French that day. I know, girlie, it's about that time for your dinner, isn't it? Alright, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, you'll have your dinner. Thank you so much for the resub, I appreciate it. Always good to use your Prime sub and not forget that you got it available. And I appreciate that it went to me. Alright. So just 1 second, I'll update the goals, and I have to feed Cha-Cha real quick. Should only take a minute. I'll do this. I don't know if that stops my sandwich from being used. It probably doesn't, but we already got the shiny for today, so it doesn't really matter ultimately. But and that takes us to 3 out of 3 on the Arceus packs. So we'll be opening one of those after we're done, provided that my document camera wants to work. But be right back. Just gotta feed Cha-Cha. Okay, I'll give us a couple minutes while he eats. Yeah, it's on Switch, and Xbox. I haven't played it, only because, I mean, if I wanted to play it, I have the original and my N64. So I hadn't bothered to try it, but it's exciting for all the people that didn't have access to it to be able to play it. It's a good game. Although I feel like probably control-wise it's a little bit awkward. To do like... So I liked playing on the mode where you could hook up 2 N64 controllers and play as one person. It was nice to be able to control using 2 sticks and stuff, but it's still viable on just one controller. It's just a little weird. I think a lot of people didn't even realize that you could hook up 2 controllers and play it like it was a dual stick controller. It'd probably be weird if... So I started using the dual stick pretty early. I originally played through the game with just the one controller. But after doing that and playing a little bit of multiplayer, I was looking through the controls and I was like, there's got to be a better way to do this. And that was one of the options. And I was like, okay, well this feels, this feels great. But I had already had a decent amount of experience with doing 2 controller, or 2 stick controller stuff from the PS2 by that point. That is, like, not even close to what I was trying to do, game. Honestly, that's fair. I feel like some of the most fun and accessible games really only use a directional pad anyway. Or only need a directional pad. Stick is great for fine control movement, but... Okay, I need to check on Cha-Cha again. Give me 1 second. I think she's done eating. That's okay. Nothing happened. I just walked around and looked at regular Swablu and there weren't any shinies, so we didn't miss out on anything. Oh yeah, my PS1 would get a little, or not my PS1, but the PS1 that I played on prior to getting a PS2 would get warm, but it never made a lot of noise. Honestly, it probably should have made more noise because that would have meant that the fan was trying to get rid of some of that heat, but... It is 3 of them in pieces. I think the original PS3 that they released was great. It probably was noisy, but it was great. Especially because you could do PS2 backward compatibility with discs, but unfortunately the PS3 that I got was a newer model, and it didn't have that functionality. And it was smaller, it wasn't as big and bulky as the original PS3, but with the lesser functionality, it wasn't as worthwhile to me. Yeah, the PS2 backwards compatibility for discs was amazing. I mean, I still had my PS2, I still have it, so I could still play my PS2 games, but... It was frustrating that, like, even the Nintendo Wii, you could play GameCube games on, but... By default, PlayStations only had that backwards compatibility for the initial version. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing? Be a good girl. Yeah, be a good girl and just relax. You had your dinner. You've had everything that you need. Hey, look, another shiny Swablu. Okay, do some 4 damage. Yeah, you're really getting out of this one, Swablu. Cool. That's 2 shiny Swablu now. I guess that makes up for the last sandwich that we did that provided 0 shiny Vigoroth that we were going for. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Just send it to the box, thank you. Okay. How much time do we have left on this sandwich? 8 minutes. Alright. Well, let's keep resetting then. And I never tried to run my PS3 games on PS4, but I'm assuming that also did not have backwards compatibility, even at the initial release. I don't know that my PS4 is an initial release PS4, though. I think it might be like the 1.2 or whatever. However, they classify slightly different console versions. Yeah, I think on my 360, I had the 360 Pro version or whatever that had the slightly larger built-in memory. But I don't know. I made a lot of friends on there. Some of which, when I log on an Xbox, I mean, I haven't done a lot of Xbox lately, so when I get on, there's like nobody on there. But I made several friends on there that, like, I'm sure if I hopped on specific games and I sent them an invite, even if we haven't talked or played in years, that they would get on and play. You meet a lot of good people playing games. You meet a lot of bad people too, but you meet a lot of good people. Right, girl? Girl said, let me out of this room. That's all I want. All I want to do is go bark. She won't let me. I played a couple of games on my PS3, but it was mostly just with... it was mostly just exclusives. Like, there was this one... Like, I played Warzone, I played God of War. There were a lot of, like, one-player experiences. Or not Warzone, Killzone. That's what I was trying to say. And there was this one game where it was, like... It was an online FPS, but there were, like... There was constantly a 3-way fight. So there was always 3 teams of people shooting at each other. And you could have, like, I forget if it was 120 or 180 players in a single game, which was pretty big for back then. And the name of the game right now is escaping me, but it was kind of revolutionary for the time. It was a lot of fun. Even though the gameplay itself was pretty simplistic, but having 3 separate teams and all of those players was big. Mag, that's it. Yes, thank you. Trying to think of what else I played a lot on PS3. Honestly, that was probably mostly it. Was those games, the exclusives. I played a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on my PS3. Not that that was a PS3 game. Of course, that's a game that had been out for quite some time, but... I think before I played it on PS3, I played it on arcade cabinets, so... Yeah, it was pretty cool and it was different, and I don't really think there's any other game out there that's really replicated the formula. I mean, of course, you've got games like Battlefield now where you can have maybe 100 people playing together, but still that setup of having not just 2 teams but 3 and doing it the way that they did never really happened. Oh, Uncharted, that's another series I played on my PlayStation. I'm sure if I really think about it, I can think of a ton, but... When I got my PS3 was kind of around the same time where I got more into... playing games with people that were in the same room anyway, so I wasn't doing online multiplayer as much as when I first got my 360. Yeah, I feel like with me personally, playing games is kind of... I mean, there's some games that, like Pokemon is a good example. Whenever they bring a new Pokemon out, I'm gonna play it. Like, that doesn't seem to ever change with me. But Pokemon's one of those games where it's a single-player RPG with a lot of different options and customization and stuff like that. But other styles of game with me are more secular. Cyclical. That's not why I said secular. Like there was around the Wii U era, I loved racing games. Absolutely loved them of all kinds. Lately, I mean, I'll play Mario Kart when the new DLCs and stuff come out, and I'll play online with some of the other streamers that I tend to read and like and watch. But racing games have just kind of been way in the back burner for me lately. Same thing with party games. Like, I really liked playing Smash Brothers and doing Mario Party and games like that, but just lately I haven't had so much of a, I don't know, so much of a pull to them. I feel like if people invite me to play, I'll still hop on and play, but it's just not something that I'm actively trying to set up anymore. But it's just all stuff that comes and goes, I guess. It's not that I don't like that type of game anymore. I still like playing them, but... Oh yeah, like, I don't try to play online with randoms, especially with Mario Party, just because I've tried it, and it's usually an awful experience. If the lag isn't making it awful, it's... somebody has one bad turn and they just quit and AI takes over for them, and it's like, okay, if I was gonna have to end up playing with AIs anyway, I was just gonna not bother setting it up to be an online match to begin with. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't mind playing Smash online with random people, but there's a more competitive side to that game, even though I guess I'd still consider Smash a party game. Cha-cha, please. Please just relax. I'm doing this thing lately where she'll lick the carpet, and like, I've vacuumed the carpet. I know the carpet's clean. She's just doing it because she wants to be outside of the room, and if I let her out, she's just gonna bark. There's all this noise and stuff happening out front of the house. Ooh, another shiny. Let's go. That's 3 of them now. The DC Multiverse. Oh, Multiversus? Yeah. Yeah, I played it. I played it a couple times on stream. It's fun. I still feel that they haven't released a Smash clone that I feel completely replicates the formula or does better than Smash, but I think it's very good. I think Multiversus is very good. I think at least the last time I played it, I felt like they had some balancing issues to work out. But it'll be cool to see who they continue adding to the roster over time. I've played Nicktoons All-Star Brawl, which was, you know, a very similar, again, and they've made some updates to that game and that roster that I think warrants going back to and experiencing some more. They just put out another Smash-like game, Fraymakers, which I have yet to try, but it takes a lot of like indie game characters and throws them all, like Octodad is in the game. Is probably a better well-known indie game character that people might know. That I think has a lot of promise and potential, but I have not yet played for myself. So, and then there's stuff like Smash Flash and what's that other game called? There's another Smash-like clone, not Rivals of Aether, but I have played Rivals of Aether, and that's good. That's not the one I'm thinking of, though. The name escapes me, but there's a ton of good ones out there that have done a good job with it. How much do I have left on this sandwich? Oh, it's done. Okay, well I got 3 shinies out of this sandwich / outbreak, so... You don't play JRPGs or what that art style, Zelda, maybe Pokemon is as much as you want to do. I mean, that's fine. I mean, everyone has their stylistic preferences. Like, I don't play a lot of, like, I don't play a lot of single-player adventure games anymore. That I used to really like playing those. Or like open world style games. I don't really touch much of that anymore. Like I'll still go back and play Minecraft or something like that, but a new game like that gets released and I kind of just look at it and go, been there, done that. Same thing with games where you have to like have to build a society and then make it so that everyone's happy, and like Fallout Shelter style games. But none of that really interests me that much anymore. I don't mind open world, it's just usually open world I get bogged down by tedious things where I'm just like, if I choose to play this game today, there's like 4 things that I gotta take care of, and all of it just seems like a lot of work and not worth it. Alright, honey. Alright. I'll let you go out of the room. Give me 1 second. I did play a little bit of Ark. See, I think Ark had or has a lot of potential, but my problem with the default game, at least at the time that I tried it, was that you could do literally everything correctly and, like, put it on settings that make sense for somebody that's new to the game. And, you know, you could get a couple days in and everything going well, you're making progress, you're exploring, you're seeing new things, you're researching, you're, advancing. And then you could just have a random dinosaur that's like 80 levels higher than you, storm your place, destroy everything, maul you, and then just be sitting there at the spawn point where you respawn and you just get spawn camped by a random NPC dinosaur, and it just ends your file, and you're just like, screw it, I'll just have to start again. Other than that, I think the game has a lot of potential and seems fun. But I had that experience a few too many times for me to really be too interested in going back to it. Alright, girlie, you wanna... Okay, I mean, the first outbreak didn't yield us anything, but the second one... Okay, could you leave me alone, please, Toxel? The second one gave us 3 shiny Swablu, which is sick.